Match week 24 and MLS Next Pro makes its way to SaberCats Stadium in Houston, Texas, as Houston Dynamo Dos hosts Minnesota United to welcome in. I'm Josh Toll. These two teams met on Wednesday evening with Houston Dynamo Dos getting the win by a score of 4-1. This is the third matchup between these two on the year, with Houston getting both previous wins. Minnesota trying to get their first of the season against this tough Dynamo Dos side, and they're going to have their work cut out for them. Minnesota has allowed the most goals on the season this year in MLS Next Pro, and they've only scored 27 on the season. Dynamo Dos, they are led by Usime Silla, who had the hat trick on Wednesday night against this Minnesota side. He is the Loon Killer. 4 of his 7 goals coming against Minnesota on the year. Minnesota United currently bottom of the standings in the Western Conference. A win would move them up to 14th in the standings, and they would be level on points with Colorado. Meanwhile, for Dynamo Dos, a win for them, and they would be 8th in the standings, as they would be level on points with Timbers 2. Dynamo Dos off to their slowest start in club history. They have really turned things on as of late to get themselves in a playoff position. Dynamo Dos starting 11 for Kenny Bundy. He will have his club in a 4-3-3 formation. Mentioned Usman Silla, the hat trick he had on Wednesday, but also look for Gabriel Segal up front for this Dynamo Dos side. He is an effective scorer, 7 goals on the season. He also scored on Wednesday night against Minnesota. He has scored in back-to-back games and looks to continue that trend here on this Sunday evening. Minnesota United, Jeremy Hall will have his club in a 3-4-3. Mentioned scoring has been an issue. Look for Jordan Adebayo Smith up front. Last year he had 12 goals with New England Revolution 2. On this season, just 1 goal. We'll see if he can be effective in that front 3 with Nieves and Darius Randall, who just signed an MLS Next Pro contract on Wednesday night for the Loons. Minnesota looking for their 3rd win of the season away from home. Meanwhile, for Dynamo Dos, they are looking for their 6th win of the season at SaberCats Stadium. Rare back-to-back meetings between these two sides as they met on Wednesday. Minnesota will stay in the Lone Star State as they will face defending champs Austin FC on Wednesday. Chance here tonight for Dynamo Dos to move into a playoff position, looking for their 8th win of the season. Minnesota United looking for their 6th win of the year. Minnesota United will be in the light blue kits with the black numbers. Dynamo Dos in the all orange with the black numbers. Dynamo Dos gone off to their worst start in club history. Didn't get their first win until 6 games into the season. Started off with 4 straight losses, but Kenny Bundy's club really putting it together as we are underway from SaberCats Stadium in Houston, Texas. Thrilled for you to join us here for this MLS Next Pro matchup between these two clubs. Jeremy Hall in his first season as the main man in charge for this Minnesota side, talking about how he was excited to get another opportunity to face Dynamo Dos right away. This team, when talking about Dynamo Dos, he wants to be more connected tonight, be brave on the ball, win their individual duels, and remain strong in adverse moments. Lone goal from Minnesota United on Wednesday coming from Rory O'Driscoll from the penalty spot. They'll look to get one in the run of play here this evening as this ball is played out wide and cut inside by Nieves. Nieves, one of the players signed back earlier this summer in July. He was born in Lawrenceville, Georgia, but raised in Madrid. Spent the last couple seasons playing professionally in Argentina. Minnesota, the signing of Darius Randall of Wednesday, a youngster that has really proven his ability for this Loon side. Lots of high praise from Jeremy Hall about the youngster, talking about he's been in the academy for a few years, but he's trained with the team. Still raw, has a lot to work with, but they love his work ethic. They love his confidence and the movement that he has and the qualities you just have that you cannot teach. His desire, his confidence, has great technique as well. We'll see how the youngster performs here against this Houston Dynamo Dose side. Here's Medina. He'll survey and play it back. Odesu will play it out wide. Both teams with the familiarity between one another. The win on Wednesday by Dynamo Dose, 4-1 in their first meeting on the season up in Minnesota. Dynamo Dose winning 3-1. Silla with a goal in that, as well as Isaiah Reed and Stephen Anor. Rodriguez will drop it back. Dynamo Dose, they'll play with patience. They'll possess the ball, work it back to back, as well as side to side. Try to find the open space that they can work with. Medina, another player that was signed on loan in May from Forletzia out of Colombia, as this is played outside. A chance here for Diego Gonzalez, the captain. Captain tonight for Minnesota will be Rory O'Driscoll. Pass played to no one in particular there by Dominic Mowing. Mowing, an 18-year-old academy player, getting the start here tonight for Minnesota. A lot of youth on both these teams. And you'll see that here in the MLS Next Pro as players try to develop from the academy as they work their way up into the second team and then the ultimate goal of the first team. Ball played into the channel, cut across, and repelled out by Mowing. First corner of the game coming for Dynamo Dose. That means the bigs will come up from back for Houston. Look for Jefferson Medina to possibly be a target, as well as Odesu. Odesu, first team All Big Ten while he was with Penn State in college. Outward swinging ball coming for Dynamo Dose. Intent for Odesu, headed up and over and into the stands. Nice ball in, and great read here by Odesu on this run to get to the near post, find the space, gets his head to it, but sends it up and over the crossbar. That ball off the hop. Kato Odesu, kind of that part where you're indecisive on what you want to do, if you want to kick it or try to head it. This ball played away by Francisco Montali. Montali signed in June out of Vermont Green out of USL League 2. 19 clean sheets when he was with Boston University. He was a two-time Patriot League Goalkeeper of the Year. Little pressure here by Adebayo Smith. Unable to force the turnover. Wakatuya will play it back. Odesu surveys. Minnesota playing off defensively at the moment, and a poor giveaway by Dynamo Dose. No pressure there, and then Minnesota giving it right back. A couple careless errors on both sides of the ball. Medina at midfield. Reigns playing it forward, intercepted by the Loons. Yeves. Ipses will lose this ball out of play. Here's Kieran Sargent getting the start. Former Georgetown Hoya, All Big East. Look at a variety of clubs here around MLS Next Pro, how they like to build their team, whether it's mostly academy players or going through the draft. And of course, you have various teams that love to bring in different players, whether it's here stateside or overseas. The signing of Darius Randall to the second team for Minnesota. How about Loic Asanvi being signed to the first team? Here is Randall into the area. Bowing, Bacharach, all Big Ten while he's with the University of Indiana. Bacharach, one of the players down from the first team as this is played down the line. Both teams still trying to find their rhythm here in the opening 8 minutes of play. Segal wanting to catch Mentali off his line, unable to do so. Segal 7 goals on the season, scoring in back-to-back games coming into tonight's fixture. Look at Segal with 7 goals on the year. Usman Silla also with 7 goals for Dynamo Dos. But how about what Diego Gonzalez is doing? Leading the league in assists with 9 on the year. This Coastal's player has 7. Medina will slow down at the moment, goes into the circle. Rodriguez. Here's O'Driscoll wearing the captain's armband tonight for Minnesota. On the other side, Diego Gonzalez wearing it for Dynamo Dos. Neves gives the ball away, not on the same page with Ipsis. Opportunity here for Dynamo Dos from the top of the area. Offside flag up late against Houston. Kenzie Gaines thought he was onside. Maybe a chance here for Gaines coming now, and going down to the surface is Diego Gonzalez. Got hit in the chin. Dynamo Dos initially want to restart quickly, not allowed to. Moses Nyman being talked to for Minnesota United. Nyman making his 8th start of the season, signed with the first team. Diego Gonzalez standing over the ball as well as Gabriel Segal. Gonzalez will step to the right side of the ball, so he'll have a left-footed attempt. Segal with a right. Segal with that wide stance, very much like Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's see if he takes this. It will be Segal. Blast up off the crossbar. Good strike here by Segal. Couldn't get the dip that he needed. Had the keeper Mentali beat. Beautiful strike. Plenty of pace, plenty of power behind that shot attempt. Minnesota side really struggling to find that consistency over the course of the season. Have a competitive team, but just not able to put it all together as of yet. We can talk about the struggles for Dynamo Dos to begin the year, but they have found their form here recently. Nieves played out for a throw here. Ipsis will come over and take the ball. The 18-year-old, he's been with the club for 2 years now. Gonzalez out wide. A chance here on the cross. Segal was on the back post. Couldn't get his leg to it. Nice ball in here by Dynamo Dos, as they look to be the more dangerous of the two teams here on this Sunday evening, much like they were on Wednesday. Beautiful ball across, but just too far ahead of Segal. Adebayo Smith trying to do it himself, but Odesu able to get to the ball first. Struggles at the start of the season for Dynamo Dos. Talking to Kenny Bundy earlier this year about that. We talked about how the team has seen everything that they could expect ever out of their first 6 games. Whether it was losing late, giving up late goals, draws, difficulties, adversity. But they have put it together, talking about this young club finding their way, and they have done that here. Just outside of the playoffs by 3 points. Timbers 2 in that 8th and final position. The majority of these teams with 8 games left. So still very much a chance for them to move forward in the standings. Silla. Dynamo Dos controlling the possession here in the opening 14 minutes of play. Let's play back to midfield as Houston will go east to west now. Through ball, but too far ahead of the intended target in Segal. Right idea, just couldn't get the execution. Schmidt up the middle. Silla drops onto his side, looks to get on return. Silla to his left foot. Silla blocked away. Good stop right there by Bacharak, denying Silla of his 5th goal against Minnesota. Silla with a great opportunity. Here's a good combination play. Tries to get it to his left. But that allowed Bacharak to get back. Montali might have even got a piece of the ball initially as Silla was trying to create some space. Now we'll have our first sub of the game, as Rory O'Driscoll is going to come off the field. Finn McRobb will come on. Not sure if something happened to Rory O'Driscoll to come off here in the 16th minute of play. But Finn McRobb on, the 22-year-old out of Glasgow, Scotland. Out of High Point University, where he scored 8 goals and had 2 assists while at High Point his final year there. Big South Defensive Player of the Year. First team All-American as well. Batroc. Mowing. So they're still trying to get settled into this game. Need to have a little bit more patience controlling the ball. Dynamo isn't doing a whole lot defensively right now. It's just simple errors, self-inflicted by Minnesota. Just like right there, that ball on the pass attempt popped over. Rainbow's out of bounds. Mowing sends a pass midfield. Up into the sky by Sebastian Rodriguez. Back heel by Silla. Good ball won back right there by Will Schmidt, the 17-year-old. Schmidt making his second start of the season. He's appeared in 7 games now for the Loons. Ferris plays it back. It's been the giveaway by Minnesota. Ipses had space to work with it. That ball's played just 2 yards further inside. Ipses will be able to get to it. Ipses plays it over. Neves. Neves turns away. Ipses. Neves telling his teammates to come to the ball. He wanted to play that inside as opposed to going back to midfield. McGraw plays it out wide. McGraw, the lone substitution so far, coming in for Rory O'Driscoll. Nyman surveys. Ferris. Off the ball, but able to turn, and last touch by Dynamo Dose. Anderson Ferris making his 7th appearance of the season, 3 straight starts. Ipses. Lofted ball in. Oh, just out of the reach of the intended target, Jordan Adebayo Smith. Xavier Valdez making sure he was the only player that could get to the ball. Valdez making his 14th start of the year, 22 goals allowed on the season, 42 saves. Has yet to be challenged in this game. Silla gets by Ipses. Taking off the referee, and we'll restart with the drop ball. Dynamo Dos looking for a clean sweep of Minnesota here. They have four wins all time against the Loons. Nyman assesses where he wants to go, tries to play across to Ipses, unable to reach him. Oedesu crosses midfield. Dynamo Dos not forcing anything forward. If Minnesota doesn't allow them to push up the ball, they go back and reset. Ball out wide to Kieran Sargent. Sargent near the corner, playing it to himself. Tripped up, tries to draw the foul, and he does. Oh no, they're gonna say dive against Sargent. So he did draw the card, but drew it against himself. He was attacking the area. Trying to force the referee to make a call, but it goes against him.
Please, at the 24th minute, yellow card caution has been issued to Houston Dynamos number 3, Kieran Sargent.
Silla for Gonzalez. Gonzalez just overran the ball, allowing McRobb to get to it. McRobb playing it forward. Randall couldn't get by the third defender, got by two. Patrak. Anderson striding up. Nieves. Nieves, a nice little step over. Nieves once again on the ball. Brings it to his left foot. Slip through. Adebayo Smith unable to get to the ball. Nice defensive play by Oedesu. Corner though here for Minnesota United. Oedesu, it looked like he was beat. Somehow able to knock the ball away from Jordan Adebayo Smith. Adebayo Smith is able to get that to his right foot. He has an opportunity to go across the mouth of the goal or use the near post. Will Schmidt now with the corner. Driven in deep. Dez wanted a quick counter, but unable to play it down the field. Giveaway in the defensive third for Dynamo Dos, one of rare mistakes in their defensive end. Brooklyn Reigns winning the ball right back though for Dynamo Dos. up the middle. Mentali will have to come and play it forward. A couple Dynamo Dos players in the vicinity. Rodriguez trying to turn upfield. Dispossessed of the ball. Nyman. Adebayo Smith in the channel. Offside flag though up. St. Louis City 2 right now, 4-0 against North Texas. Vancouver also got up against LAFC, 1-0. Miami 3-1 as they lead. You know, Miami right now on a 7-game unbeaten streak, taking on Chattanooga. One-two combination play to Silla. Track though able to win the ball back for Minnesota as he's pushed over from Silla. Send it away. We'll come to the side and get some water here as we are scoreless in the 25th minute. Dynamo Dos with the better of the chances so far in this matchup. Minnesota at the moment able to keep this game scoreless. Great chance earlier in this game by Segal on a set piece that he hit off the crossbar for Dynamo Dos. He scored in Wednesday night's match against Minnesota. Usman Silla had the hat trick in the game. Most goals scored by a Dynamo Dos player on the season in a single match this year. Third and final meeting between these two teams. In the two meetings, Dynamo Dos outscoring Minnesota 7-2. Minnesota on the year, 5 wins, 13 losses, and 2 draws. Meanwhile, Dynamo Dos, 7 wins, 9 losses, and 6 draws. Dynamo Dos, though, in 9th in the standings with 29 points. Above them are the Portland Timbers 2, who have 32 points. So a win tonight for Dynamo Dos, and they will be level on points with Portland. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, 14th in the standings, but a win for them, they'll be level on points with Colorado Rapids 2. Minnesota United, they've given up the most goals on the season in MLS NEXT Pro. They've also scored the second fewest in the league. Meanwhile, Kenny Bundy's side, 35 goals on the year, 35 goals allowed. Minnesota, you have to hand it to them right now, making it difficult for Diego Gonzalez to connect with any of his teammates. Diego Gonzalez, the league leader in assists with 9. Still a couple different times in the run of play has been dangerous with the ball at his feet. Hasn't been able to create a scoring chance as of yet. Our lone sub here in the first half so far, Finn McGraw came on for Rory O'Driscoll, that back in the 16th minute. Action around MLS NEXT Pro. How about Orlando, unbeaten in their last 4 with the win on the road against Atlanta on Friday. Austin FC, the defending champs, now unbeaten in their last 5 with the win against Colorado that they had. Minnesota United will take on the defending champs on Wednesday. That'll be in Austin, the capital of Texas. Silla switching sides. Ferris plays it in quickly to Randall. Nyman to the near side. Chested down, Ipses. Nieves. Let's see, will this be a corner for Minnesota or a goal kick for Dynamo Dos? It'll be a corner. Second corner of the game here for Minnesota. Here's Will Schmidt once again. Outward swinging ball. Floating. Headed up by Finn McGraw and put in for the open goal for Minnesota. And it's Jordan Adebayo-Smith. Jordan Adebayo-Smith with his second goal of the season for Minnesota. And you have to hand this to Finn McGraw, getting a piece of the ball on the header attempt, able to get it over to Adebayo-Smith, who slots it by the keeper, and Xavier Valdez. Minnesota, a slow start to the game, but a big moment off the corner. Mentioned at the top of the game, Jordan Adebayo-Smith last year, 12 goals with New England Revolution 2. Gets his second goal here of the season with the Loons. That goal coming in the 34th minute of play.
Scored by Minnesota United, FC2, number 99, Adebowale Adebayo.
Schmidt playing it in. And there you see it just find the foot for the first strike of the game. Patience prevailing for Minnesota. Dynamo Dos up until that point have looked the stronger of the two teams this evening. And now looking for more. Go back to the game on Wednesday. It was Rory O'Driscoll scoring from the spot. Has to be nice to get a goal in the run of play coming off a set piece on that corner. I always hear about teams and coaches talking about how important set pieces are and being able to mark up with your man. You just don't want to let that loose ball find the feet, just like it did there, Jordan Adebayo-Smith. Offside flag will be up. Minnesota here with an opportunity on the free kick now. Looks like Will Schmidt will take this as well. Has Moses Nyman to his right if he chooses. Schmidt will look to send this into the area. Gets the go-ahead. The service. Right to Valdez. Valdez confident on those balls in the air. He goes up right away to snatch the ball out of the air. And this should be a foul here, and it is against Anderson Ferris. Clear foul as Ferris had Mackenzie Gaines in a headlock to bring him down to the ground. One thing Ferris did was make sure that Dynamo Dos' Mackenzie Gaines would have no opportunity at all to get to the ball.
Jen Ferris, 59.
Now this ball coming just a few yards outside the area for Dynamo Dos on the set piece chance. Gotta Again, goes back to that command of Xavier Valdez, getting the ball right out of the air and just sitting the ball down on a counter. Tried that earlier in this game, but hit it off the back of one of the Minnesota United players earlier. Back post ball, swiped aside. How about Francisco Montali right here, just getting his paw to the ball. Montali signed in July from Vermont Green. His fourth start of the season. That one was seeking the backside of the goal. Take a look back at this. Beautiful bending ball. That was going upper 90 as well. Ball played into the box. Ipses tracks it down, but unable to send it up the field. Gives it right away. Back post ball. Headed down and in for an own goal by Finn McRobb. Isaac Wakatuya playing this ball across the field. McRobb in the right position, but unable to direct the ball out of play. Wakatuya head up. Try to send the ball across. McRobb trying to get it by the post, but unfortunately sends it in his own net. And look back at that play. Ipses got to the ball first, but unable to play the ball up the field, allowing Wakatuya to survey where he wanted to pass the ball. Disappointing moment right there for Minnesota United on a couple occasions. First on the poor clearance, then on the own goal.
All goals scored by number 39, Minnesota United FC2, Finn McRobb.
Goal coming in 39th minute for Dynamo Dos. Randall. Great conversation with Jeremy Hall about Randall earning his contract here with the Next Pro side. Talk about some other players that have been loaned out, or in the case of Loic Mesavani being signed to the first team, the input that he does have in terms of what they want to do with the player. He's allowed to give his input, and he really loves how collaborative the organization is on what they want to do with these various players, whether they're moving them up, moving them down, sending them out for loan like Patrick Weah going over to Denmark. That's what you want, that communication from top to bottom throughout the organization. Last time on a corner for Minnesota, they got their opening goal from Jordan Adebayo-Smith. Will Schmidt taking it once again for the Loons. High arcing ball. Still ahead, Mowing back for Minnesota. Sargent. Backtrack as well as Ipses back defensively. Finds Silla. Silla trying to drag the ball over. Reigns. Off the ball in, off the chest of Sargent. Sargent pokes it through. And off the post. Everyone thought that was offside. Flag stayed down. Sargent might have even thought he was offside. Should have been a for sure goal for Dynamo Dos. Adebayo Smith, the goal scorer for Minnesota. Twisting, turning. Randall turns aside. Everyone in disbelief by that miss by Kieran Sargent. Little tug of the jersey there by Gabriel Segal on Mountain, the reason for the whistle. Ipses goes inside to Moses Nyman. Here's Anderson Ferris. Neves unable to get around Medina. Good battle for the ball as it crosses the end line for a goal kick. This game should be 2-1 in favor of Dynamo Dos. And a point-blank miss by Kieran Sargent. Own goal for Dynamo Dos coming from Finn McGraw, the outside back for Minnesota United, although this three-back set really considered a center back. Here's McGraw. McGraw subbing on earlier in the half for Rory O'Driscoll. Again, the Brave have highlights and stats from this one. Also take a look back at last week. Playoff push is on in MLS Next Pro as we'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time added on here to the first half. Our collision, and we will play on. And no, now we'll restart and we'll have an opportunity here on a set piece for Dynamo Dos. Moses Nyman called for the foul, knocking over the captain of Dynamo Dos and Diego Gonzalez. Chance here now for Dynamo Dos to go into the locker room with the lead. It'll be Gonzalez. Headed down into the mixer. Reigns attacking the end line. Two players now on Reigns. This is to be knocked out. Maybe a corner kick for Dynamo Dos. Inward swinging ball being set up here by Houston. Played into the area, headed out. Up is Will Schmidt. Flying up the field is Jordan Adebayo Smith. Schmidt. Coming in offside position was Jordan Adebayo Smith. Adebayo Smith, a lone goal for Minnesota, coming back in the 34th minute. Reigns, he's seen time with the first team. Diagonal ball. With the Leagues Cup coming to a close, now getting back to regular season action. So we've seen some players down from various teams across the league trying to get their fitness back up to par. Sargent. Sargent cuts it across. That's Seagal. And this will be a corner for Dynamo Dos. Good read by Kieran Sargent. Making a run to the near post was Seagal, who has 7 goals on the season. He doesn't need much room. Seagal with a great opportunity on the set piece that hit off the crossbar. Ball driven in, headed back! That nearly went to the back side of the goal, but trickles wide. And there is the whistle to close out the first half of play between Dynamo Dos and Minnesota United. It was Jordan Adebayo Smith in the 34th minute for Minnesota, getting the opening goal of the game. And then moments later in the 39th minute, Isaac Mwakatula playing a ball across, and Finn McGraw would head it into his own net. Our score of the half is Dynamo Dos 1, Minnesota United 1. Coming up, we look back at last week as the playoff push is heating up after the break.
Dale pues, mamá ya muerte. Más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, con las manos en la cabeza. Sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete. Listen up, all eyes on me. I'll show you who you wanna be. Yeah, yeah, hey. Oh, wow, wow, wow. It's going down, down. You don't want to miss that. It's the new sound. It's the new sound. It's the new sound. Toda mi gente lo siente. 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 Toda mi gente caliente. Toda mi gente lo siente. Toda mi gente suena. En la favela suena. El techo se me llena. Toda mi gente lo siente.
Welcome back. Our score at the half, Dynamo Dos 1, Minnesota 1. In this week's report, we're talking about P's as in playoffs, power, and rankings, and Padrino. Here is Michelle Montaigne.
Shot attempt hits the back of the net. Berkeley now, oh my goodness!
There's a look at Finley Stadium in beautiful Chattanooga, Tennessee, home of one of 2 MLS Next Pro independent teams, Chattanooga FC. I'm Michelle Montaigne, joining you for another edition of The Report. And while CFC has been towards the top of the standings throughout the season, the other independent club, located approximately 350 miles east of Chattanooga, Carolina Core needed a big win if they wanted to keep their playoff hopes intact, and a big win is exactly what they got this past match week. Not only did CCFC beat the #1 team in the power rankings, but they also earned Team of the Match Week honors. Captain Jack Evans scored in stoppage time to give the visitors the lone goal of the match, and that would be all they'd need to hand FC Cincinnati 2 just their 3rd loss at home this season. Head coach Roy Lassiter shared the meaning of the win afterward.
It's a very good win for us. It's nearly a turn of the corner for us. We can use this moment to kind of go forward and build up and press on. Obviously, we got a couple of home games coming up here, so that home stretch is going to be very, very important for us. So this win was monumental, really.
We just emphasized playing as a team and playing together and sticking together, and I think you could see that on the pitch. I think it was a team performance, and yeah, we fought to the very end and came away with 3 points. And hopefully, you know, we're just going to keep our feet on the ground, and we're not going to get ahead of ourselves, and we're just going to take it one game at a time.
Here's a closer look at Carolina Core FC's upcoming schedule. The next 5 games for the Foxes will be played at Truist Stadium, so they'll have home field advantage. During that run, though, they will host the likes of New England, Atlanta, Red Bulls 2, Philadelphia, and Crown Legacy, respectively. Another team in need of a big win to keep their playoff aspirations intact, Huntsville City FC. Johnny Bolaños and co came in clutch in front of their home fans to earn a vital win and keep their chances of clinching a playoff spot alive. Their 3-2 victory over Red Bulls 2 extended their unbeaten streak to 3 in a row. Post-game, Bolaños shared where this recent run of form has stemmed from.
We just want to end on the strongest note possible. I think with Chris coming in, it was a great fresh start from us. We're all loving his game plan, and you see that on the field.
I think one is that their willingness to work for each other. They're committed to each other. They're committed to what we're trying to do. And as you can see, they're taking steps in the right direction, and they're moving in a way that we want them to be going right now. So very happy with them.
Like Carolina Core, Huntsville understands just how significant each of their next several matches are. Up next for them, 3 of the next 5 are on the road. They will then host Inter Miami 2 and the top team in the Eastern standings, FC Cincinnati 2. Another team feeling the pressure of precious points, Chattanooga FC. Despite trailing Crown Legacy 1-0 until the 88th minute, the independent side was able to equalize off a Mehdi Ouamri goal. Then by forcing a shootout, CFC was able to secure the extra point off of a 3-2 shootout victory. On the other hand, despite not coming out with that extra point, Crown Legacy remains in playoff contention in the East. As we take a look at positions 7 through 14 in the standings here, we see that not a lot of points separate those last 2 playoff spots from those on the outside looking in. As mentioned earlier, the wins by Carolina Core and Huntsville City FC are only making things more interesting as we get to the final stages of the season. We've seen them do it time and time again, from their first championship run in 2022 with the likes of MVP Jason Russell-Rowe and Mo Farsi, then their incredible run through the 2023 playoffs to make it to the Cup final. Crew 2 just seems to know how to step up when it matters most. And this year, their quest for glory appears to be starting a little earlier than last year's. With their win over New England Revolution 2, Crew 2 extended their win streak to 4. They are now unbeaten in 10 straight games. You'd have to go all the way back to the first game of June for the last time they lost a match. As for what's caused the recent run of form, head coach Kelvin Jones says,
yeah, you're unbeaten in the last 10, and every result in those 10 is different. So the group has learned how to win in different ways, and today as well as you may not have been your best performance, but you got the result. So pleased with that. It puts us in a really good place for the collective goal to get the playoffs. But again, as always, there's a lot to work on throughout the week to prepare for the next match. Really won't be easy.
Let's take a bigger look at Crew 2 by the numbers during this streak. Their last defeat took place on June 2nd, and since they've scored 27 goals while only allowing 12. There have been 11 different goal scorers for Crew 2 and 4 shootout wins.
Pedrinho scores! Pedrinho, the substitute, draws the penalty, scores the penalty. Garcia going back to Fonseca, and he puts it in.
Cutting back, Herbert Endley. Oh my gosh! What a dive! And Pedrinho's on the end of it. Solly into Tariq Scott. The extra ball to Pedrinho. And the 2-goal lead back for North Texas.
While Pedrinho has gotten a lot of the attention for North Texas SC, it's safe to say that the #1 seed in the West is certainly more of a balancing act. Tariq Scott, Enes Sally, and Pedrinho have all contributed significantly to that best goal differential in the league. And against their Texas in-state rival, that offensive balancing act was on full display. Both Tariq Scott and Pedrinho would open scoring with the first 2 goals for North Texas against Dynamo Dos. Then despite Houston getting one back for the visitors, it would not be enough, as Pedrinho then finished with a brace, and Tomas Pondeca sealed the deal on the way to a 4-1 victory. North Texas remains undefeated at home this season. A big reason why? Throughout the course of the season, over 10 different players have found the back of the net for North Texas SC. The goal scoring is led by both midfielder Pedrinho and forward Tariq Scott, who both have 8 on the season. And as Sally has 7 so far, Diego Garcia has 4 and is looking to add even more. Now, as you can see here, the contributions of those 4 have certainly helped propel North Texas SC to the top of the MLS Next Pro Power Rankings. A team that's made a big leap in these rankings, St. Louis City 2, who's now #2. They're looking to continue their strong season, so when the time comes, they get to pick their opponent come playoffs. Now, their most recent win, a 3-goal shutout victory over MNUFC2. The clean sheet marked City 2's 7th of the season, as their defense continues to allow the 3rd fewest goals against in all of MLS Next Pro. Now, offensively, one of those 3 goals came, of course, off of the foot of Makai Joyner, marking his 10th of the season. With that, he leads the team in St. Louis in goal scoring and has himself tied for a 3rd in goals scored in the league. And speaking of, let's take a look at the updated Golden Boot race standings. David Poreba remains in sole first with 15 goals on the season, including one in Fire 2's most recent match versus Union 2. They boast the player in 2nd place, Eddie Davis, who's netted 11 so far this season. Joiners 10 are tied with New York City FC2's Taylor Calhera in 3rd place. Now, the goals just keep coming. I know we love to see them, and we also know that the games from here on out will continue to mean more and more. You can catch all of them at MLSNextPro.com or on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Michelle Montaigne. We'll see you soon.
Toda mi gente lo siente, toda mi gente lo siente, toda mi gente lo siente, y toda mi gente lo siente, toda mi gente caliente, toda mi gente lo siente. Toda mi gente suena, en la favela suena, el techo se me llena, toda mi gente lo siente. sacúdete. Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete. Muévelo como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, pon la mano en la cabeza y sacúdete. Sacúdete, 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 mira, sacúdete.
45 minutes in the books between Dynamo Dos and Minnesota United as we are all knotted up at 1 apiece. Both goals coming from Minnesota United. That's something you never want to hear when the score is knotted up at 1 apiece as we take a look back at the 45 minutes of action between these two sides. Great chance coming off the crossbar right there for Dynamo Dos here. Nice slip ball to Silla. Silla creating the space, but pass blocked, or excuse me, shot blocked on the play by Hugo Bajarak. Nice ball in here, the back post. Finn McRobb would get his head to it, and then Jordan Adebayo-Smith going top shelf for the opening goal for Minnesota United. That goal coming in the 34th minute. How about this ball? Back post ball. Beautiful ball sent in by Diego Gonzalez, but a better save by Mentali. Isaac Makatui playing this ball across. Finn McRobb gets to it for Minnesota, but cannot head it away from the goal as it goes through for the opening goal for Dynamo Dos. That goal coming in the 39th minute. Kieran Sargent would also have a chance, but he would miss a wide open look. As we take a look here at the stats from the first half play, Dynamo Dos, the more aggressive of the two teams, but the 7 shots, just 1 shot on target. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the 1 shot on target as well, but Jordan Adebayo-Smith, goal paying off dividends. Goal probably should have kept it 1-0. If you don't have the own goal by Finn McRobb, you can make an argument for the missed shot on the set piece by Gabriel Segal, as well as the opportunity by Kieran Sargent. Minnesota keeping themselves in this game. Now a chance for them to possibly pull away in the second half. They can create more opportunities. They need to find a way to be more effective in the attacking third. Yes, Dynamo Dos doesn't have a goal of their own as it was scored by Finn McRobb, but just keep doing what you're doing. Put the pressure on Minnesota. Keep pushing up into the attacking third. See if you can be a little bit more creative and go up the spine as well and try to take advantage. We are underway once again from SaberCat Stadium in Houston, Texas. Third and final meeting between these two sides. Dynamo Dos have won both. Dynamo Dos winning on Wednesday night by a score of 4-1 and winning earlier this season in Minnesota by a score of 3-1. Jefferson Valverde will come in for Dynamo Dos to begin the second half. Off will go Brooklyn Reigns. Minnesota had the sub in the first half. Finn McRobb coming on for Rory O'Driscoll. Here is McRobb trying to keep the ball in play. Does. Schmidt really instrumental on that opening goal by Jordan Adebayo-Smith. Beautiful ball across, finding Finn McRobb, who was able to get the ball to Adebayo-Smith for the goal in the 34th minute. Ferris has been active on the flank here this evening for Minnesota. All played for Darius Randall in pursuit. Randall leaves it. The shot blocked aside. Sargent clearing off the end line and a corner now for Minnesota, but a great opportunity for the Loons here early in the second half. Darius Randall signing a contract on Wednesday, showing that he has no fear. Jeremy Hall talking about he loves the confidence of this 16-year-old, just working his way around and just does the smart thing of leaving the ball away from Nieves. Nieves getting a good look on the shot attempt, but not able to get it by the keeper in Valdez. Ball in. Finn McRobb, he needs to let Hugo Bajarak know that he is right there behind him. McRobb would have had a clear shot at the near post. Makatuya should be able to get credit for that own goal, at least an assist on the own goal. He's the player that played it across. Beautiful ball. Talking with Jeremy Hall about this game, says it's very easy to plan for when you're playing a team back-to-back. Makes it easier. They stayed in the state of Texas, and they'll be playing Wednesday night in Austin as well. You're seeing this Minnesota side be a little bit more brave in this game. Jeremy Hall talking about he also wants to see them more connective in the run of play, and the individual duels as well. Talking about adverse moments. Of course, you have the own goal. Minnesota doing a good job not slumping their shoulders after that own goal. Diagonal ball out wide. Seagal. Knocked over in the box, trying to draw the foul, doesn't get it. Ball shot in. Great looking strike once again by Kieran Sargent. He probably should have 2 goals this evening. Seagal doing a good job winning the ball, knocked over. Sargent running right onto the path of the ball. Another nice strike. Mentality there to make the save for Minnesota. Valverde heading that forward. Valverde down from the first team for tonight's game. Getting some minutes logged. Valverde turning aside. Rodriguez. Odesu played up near midfield. Ball played out wide to Sargent. He's been active. Silla. 4 of his 7 goals coming against this Minnesota United side. Gaines, back post ball, headed down. Nyman looking for Randall. Randall somehow able to keep that ball in play. Dynamo Dos fans definitely thought that went out. Ipsis dragged to the ground, trying to draw the foul. Ipsis lucky he wasn't called for a yellow card. That happened to Kieran Sargent earlier in the first half. Seagal. High arcing ball. Gaines unable to get to the ball. And this will go out of play for a Dynamo Dos throw. Valverde. Oh, nice little slip ball by Valverde. Chipped over and in! Dynamo Dos scores first in the second half. It's Gabriel Seagal. Seagal has scored in 3 straight games. Seagal with his 8th goal of the season. How about this slip ball by Valverde and beautiful chip.
Houston Dynamo
That goal coming in the 53rd minute for Dynamo Dos. Seagal in his 8th game of the season gets his 8th goal of the year. Scored in back-to-back games, now making 2 straight against Minnesota.
Houston Dynamo Dos, number 8, Gary Seagal.
Valverde, the man with a beautiful slip ball down from the first team. Came over earlier this season. Being effective here for Dynamo Dos. Dynamo Dos have to love that instant impact off the bench by Valverde on the assist. Wakatuya playing it forward, just out of the reach of the intended target, Seagal. Corner now here for Dynamo Dos. Diego Gonzalez placing the ball down. Driven backside of the box. Seagal getting the 2nd goal for Dynamo Dos. Had a near one in the first half that hit off the crossbar. Seagal coming over in a trade from New York City FC. Dynamo sending over a 3rd-round pick in next year's MLS Super Draft. Wakatuya, pressure by Randall and a foul call against Minnesota. Rodriguez slows it up at the moment. Valverde will play it outside. Sargent to Silla. Late whistle here against Minnesota and a free kick coming for Dynamo Dos. Matchrock with a foul for Minnesota. Now another opportunity here on a set piece for Houston. Opportunity once again for Dynamo Dos to extend their lead. Played in. Beautiful ball in, but not headed on frame. Pretty much drawn up exactly how you would want it if you're a Dynamo Dos fan. Valverde. Wakatuya. Gaines on the end line. And a corner coming for Dynamo Dos once again. Dynamo Dos in this first half had 7 shots, just 1 on target. Creating opportunities here in the second half once again. Another opportunity to manufacture a goal here on the corner. They'll play short to Silla. Back post ball. Valverde chips it in. A chance. Dropped off and put through. Dynamo Dos makes it 3-1. Segal does it once again as he has a brace. Dynamo Dos just sticking with this nice little chip ball in by Valverde. Played over. How about the acrobatics right there by Segal to get the ball through? Well, Silla with a hat trick on Wednesday, and now Segal with a brace on Sunday. Segal now with 9 goals on the season for Dynamo Dos.
Dynamo fans, goal scored at the minute 60 by number 8, Kid Seagal.
Seagal's 9th goal this season. That'll put him 5th in goals on the season. Of course, David Pareba of Chicago well in front of everyone with 17 goals. Joiner of St. Louis City in second with 12 goals on the year. Another opportunity for Dynamo Dos. Silla! Silla and Segal just have the number of Minnesota United. Here's Silla pushing ahead. Finn McGraw able to get back into defensive position. Awadesu credited with the assist in Segal's last goal. First assist of the season for Awadesu. Nyman for Randall. Chance here now from a dangerous spot for the Loons. Loons looking to get one back. Nyman sets up with the right foot. Gets the go-ahead. Nyman. Valdez stops it initially and fouled in the process. Yeah, was the player down for Minnesota United. Neves was the player that collided with the keeper in Valdez. Neves able to at least pop up on his own as he just rubs his shoulder. Both teams getting ready to make a sub here as well. Here you can see the players for Minnesota United and Britton Fisher as well as Aiden Martinez. And coming on for Dynamo Dos will be Matteo Di Morelli. Di Morelli will come on for Mackenzie Gaines. Aiden Martinez in for Jordan Adebayo Smith, the goal scorer for Minnesota. Britton Fisher will come on for Tanner Abses.
Second substitution for Minnesota United FC2, leaving the field number 99.
Fisher in his second season, originally from Greenville, North Carolina. This will be his 20th appearance of the season.
May I have your attention, please? In the 64th minute, substitution in Houston Dynamo Dos.
Valdez sending everyone up. He'll readjust the ball.
Mackenzie Gaines.
Valdez is going to have to wait a little bit longer. Valdez is actually going to be handed a yellow card.
May I have your attention, please, at the 65th minute. Yellow card caution has been issued to goalkeeper of Houston Dynamo Dos.
You have to think for Valdez, it was just for delaying time on that goal kick. Di Morelli loses possession as he was knocked over. Ball played out wide into the channel. Into the box. Sails over everyone and out for a goal kick. Dynamo Dos looking for their 6th win at home and their 8th win on the season. 3 points tonight would move them level on points with Timbers 2, who are in that last and final spot in the playoffs in 8th. Martinez knocked over. We'll draw the whistle. Schmidt, play it down the line. Randall. Neves. Martinez, looping ball. Gonzalez. Silla, sending it forward. Right idea right there by Silla. Had the runner and Di Morelli. Slip ball forward and an opportunity for Martinez, but shoots it right at the keeper in Valdez. Aiden Martinez with a great look here. How about this ball forward by Schmidt? Martinez unable to get it by Valdez. Both teams showing that they have the ability to break down the back line of their opponent. There's Randall losing his balance on that shot attempt. Left-footed shot. Oh, just tipped up by Valdez, but not out. Valdez has made a couple of really good saves tonight for Dynamo Dos. Maybe even caught off guard a little bit there with the shot attempt. Darius Randall now the player down for Minnesota as he'll be stretched out. What an opportunity here the last 2 times down for Minnesota United. Martinez with a great strike, and then he had one just from distance moments ago. Tonight scoring Jordan Adebayo Smith in the 34th minute, then Finn McRobb with an own goal in the 39th minute. Gabriel Segal would score in the 53rd minute, assisted by Valverde, and then in the 59th minute, Segal would score again. His second goal would be assisted by Femi Owadesu. 9 goals on the season now for Gabriel Segal. Looks like we'll have another sub on here for Dynamo Dos, making his way.
Have your attention, please. At the 69th minute, substitution in Houston, Dynamo Dos. Leaving the field, number 30, Isaac Wakatuya.
Wakatuya will come
Coming
off
to
the field.
Number 50, Denny Barrett.
Denny Barrett will come on to the field for Dynamo Dos. Darius Randall, who was the player down on the ground for Minnesota, now will jog off the field. Griffin Price will come on. Justin Arias, who just subbed on, will have the corner opportunity. Arias.
May I have your attention, please? Substitution, Minnesota United FC2. Leaving the field, number 49, William Schmidt.
Neves. Back post. Headed down.
Coming
And
into
sent
the
away
field,
by
number 42.
Dynamo Dos.
Justin Arias. Also, leaving the field, number 57, Lizzie Randall. Coming into the field, number 66, Griffin Price.
Given away now by Dynamo Dos. Minnesota United looking to capitalize. Arias, who just subbed on. Ball played out wide. And stopped once again by Valdez. How about these last 4 games? This Gall scored in back-to-back games here against Minnesota. Also scored against St. Louis on the 11th. And then you go back to July 28th, where he had a brace. In the game before that, he also had a brace against North Texas. Look at these last 5 games for Skal. For Dynamo Dos, he is scoring at will. Wednesday night's win, 4-1 over Minnesota. You had Silla with a hat trick, Skal with a brace this evening. Silla out wide. Chance here now for Minnesota. Let's see if they can do anything on the counter. Cut inside. Back from Minnesota, overruns the ball. Grab of the jersey, fans want to whistle, they're going to get it this time. Seagal's jersey was tugged indeed by McGraw. And now this free kick will come just a few yards outside the box, and we're going to have a yellow card handed out as well.
Attention, please, at the 74th minute. Yellow card caution has been issued for number 6, Houston Dynamo dos, Uafemi Adesu.
So Adesu is going to be handed the yellow card for Dynamo dos, so he must have said something. But Adesu is more disappointed that there was the yellow card not handed out to McRobb for the tugging of the jersey. The captain will place the ball down for Dynamo dos. Gonzalez with an opportunity to get 10 assists on the season right here. Gonzalez gets the go-ahead. Headed away. Off the volley. There's Valverde with that one-time shot attempt. Right off the hop, he was able to get his foot to the ball. A clean strike. Silla. Sargent. Valverde. Silla from long range, blocked away by Bacharach. Maybe a chance here for Nieves. And a corner for Minnesota. Nieves had Griffin Price to the left of him. Minnesota's opening goal and lone goal coming off a corner. There's the first goal for Dynamo dos was an own goal by Minnesota's Finn McRobb. Chance here, whip the ball back into the mixer. Back post, swiped away by Valdez. Valdez, a commanding, confident presence in the box for Dynamo dos. Arias to send it in for Minnesota. Knotted down, not cleared away. Now sent away by Houston. DiMorelli. Silla, numbers pushing up for Dynamo dos. Silla grabbed from behind, advantage played. Here's Danny Barrett on the return pass. Nyman at midfield. Holds up. Arias. Arias looking to connect with Anderson Ferris.
May I have your attention, please, fans? The referee has indicated that
Water break here in the 79th minute.
The break will last up to 3 minutes.
Both sides will come to the sideline to get some water. Dynamo Dos up 3-1. That was the first score in the first meeting between these two clubs in Minnesota. Dynamo Dos with a 4-win in the last meeting on Wednesday. Up next for Dynamo Dos, they will not play until September 8th when they will host Ventura County. That game will kick at 5 p.m. Eastern. Minnesota United right back at it here in the Lone Star State. They'll play on Wednesday night against Austin. That game will kick at 9 p.m. Dynamo Dos looking for their 8th win of the season and their 6th win at home if the scoreline were to hold. Dynamo Dos also coming out of this break will be making a couple of subs as well. J.J. Bell is going to come in for the goal scorer in Silla, who has a brace. Isaiah Reed will also come into the game. Isaiah Reed scored in the first meeting between these two clubs. Reed does have 3 goals on the season for Dynamo Dos. His last goal coming July 21st against North Texas. Isaiah Reed now jogging on the field for Kieran Sargent. Kieran Sargent, a solid game tonight. He should have had an easy goal. Missed it. Also now checking in will be J.J. Bell for Usman Silla. So Silla leaves with a brace. 9 goals now on the season. Puts him 5th in MLS Next Pro. David Pareba leading all scorers with 17 for Chicago. Diego Gonzalez leading the way in assists in MLS Next Pro. Has yet to get an assist this evening. He's been instrumental, though, in the midfield tonight once again for Dynamo Dos. Lone goal for Minnesota coming by Jordan Adebayo-Smith, his 2nd goal of the year. All played out. Nieves was there for Minnesota. Arias. Over to McRobb. Ferris on the end line. Nice hard challenge by Dynamo Doses. Odesu. McRobb switching sides. Headed into the area, and Valdez at the 6-yard box, able to gather the ball in. DiMorelli, little space to work with. Coming over is McRobb. DiMorelli to the end line, gets around McRobb, stopped at the near post. Montali with a nice save right there for Minnesota United. getting big on the near post to make the stop. Ball played down the line. McRobb, looping ball in. Ferris. Price turns. Moises Nyman got the bend, but didn't get the dip. Great opportunity here by DiMorelli. How about this save? Natali just guarding the near post. Did enough to shield away the ball on the shot attempt on the play by Matteo DiMorelli. Inside, and this will get a yellow card. And the yellow card will be handed to Sebastian Rodriguez of Houston Dynamo.
May I have your attention, please? At the 85th minute, yellow card caution has been issued to Houston Dynamo's number 19, Sebastian Rodriguez.
Rodriguez now with yellow into the books. Nyman. Arias. McRobb. McRobb was looking for Brenton Fisher on the opposite side of the field. Batrack will find Fisher now. Fisher inside. Nyman. We have an injured player behind the play for Dynamo Dos. Minnesota right back at it on Wednesday. Currently 3 points behind Colorado Rapids in the standings. Minnesota, this will be their 14th loss of the year. They've now allowed 60 goals on the season. In this game, they've shown that they can be dangerous in the attacking third, but not doing enough to execute in the final third. You also have to hand it to Xavier Valdez. He's been doing a tremendous job between the sticks tonight for Dynamo Dos. For Dynamo Dos, patience paying off. They were the aggressor early, trailed in this game, were able to get back into it. Skull really opening up things here in the second half for Dynamo Dos with the brace. Valverde with an assist on the first goal here in the second half by Segal. And then Oedesu will get an assist on the second goal. A win will put Dynamo Dos level on points with Portland Timbers 2. And would also put them ahead in the standings. So with a win tonight, Dynamo Dos would officially be in 8th in the standings. That is the final playoff spot. This year, top 8 teams making the playoffs in each conference. Pick your opponent once again. Back post ball, knotted down. It was a beautiful cross, but unable to get it on frame was Minnesota. Beautiful ball in by Anderson Ferris. Just little misses like that, preventing Minnesota from possibly being right in this game, whether it be a tie or a lead. Not to hand it to Dynamo Dos. They've been the aggressor. They made fewer mistakes in this game, and they've capitalized on their opportunities. He had a swipe on a kick. We're having a yellow card for Arias. Frustration right there by J.J. Bell, I believe it was.
May I have your attention, please, at the 89th minute. Yellow card caution has been issued to Minnesota United FC to number 42, Justin Arias.
Now the man of the match after this game for you. A couple different players it could be for Dynamo Dos. Delivery into the box. Moses Nyman out wide. Arias. 5 minutes of stoppage time added on. Only other game right now going Tacoma Defiance and Tacoma Defiance and the Town knotted up at one
May I have
apiece.
your attention, please? Fourth official on the sign has indicated there will be a minimum of 5 minutes added into the second half. 5 minutes.
All played out wide. Bell. Leagues Cup coming to close. How about Philadelphia as Union's Jack McGlynn with an assist in the win against Mazatlan to help advance Philadelphia Union to play Columbus Crew. Max Harfston, an assist for Columbus Crew against NYCFC. How about the 2022 Golden Boot winner and MVP, and Jason Russell Rowe converting a penalty in the shootout.
Number 35, Rick Fisher.
Fisher now handed a yellow card for Minnesota. How about Inter Miami, now unbeaten in their last 8 games as they get a win 5-1 over Chattanooga this evening. And a corner now coming for Dynamo Dos. Red Bulls falling 4-1 to Crown Legacy earlier today. Late game tonight sees Ventura County hosting Real Monarchs. Dynamo Dos playing short now, whipped in. Up next for Minnesota wins tonight against Austin FC, the defending champs who are now unbeaten in their last 5 games. Up next for Dynamo Dos, not until September, they'll play Ventura County. This game did get a little chippy here, but nothing out of hand for either one of these sides. Third and final meeting of the season between these two clubs, and Houston Dynamo Dos will have a clean sweep. First game they won 3-1. Game on Wednesday they won 4-1, and this one it looks like they will win 3-1 as well. Fifth win all time against the Loons. Headed away by Batroc. Minnesota very much once again in this game against Dynamo Dos, just not doing enough. You have to hand it to Houston for making it difficult for Minnesota to advance up the field and be creative in the attacking third. Dynamo Dos controlling the possession in this game as well. Minnesota had chances, but unable to get anything else by Xavier Valdez after the Jordan Adebayo-Smith goal in the 34th minute of play. At the half, this game was 1-1. And there is the whistle, and Dynamo Dos will get their 8th win of the season and their 6th win at home. Gabriel Segal with a brace in this game, scoring in the 53rd minute and the 59th minute to help give the home side the 3-1 win over Minnesota United, as Dynamo Dos have won 3 on the year against Minnesota. And tonight's man of the match is Gabriel Segal of Houston Dynamo Dos. And this is presented to you by Adidas. Great slip ball by Valverde. And how about this little chip? Great technique, great touch. And here this ball chipped in. Odessa able to find Segal, the acrobatics, as he slots it through for his 2nd goal in the second half to help give the home side the win here at SaberCats Stadium. Houston Dynamo Dos improved to 8 wins on the season. Minnesota United falling to 5-14 on the year. But for our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Josh Toll. Once again, our final score is Houston 3, Minnesota 1. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Thank you and good night.
Drive home safe and see you at the next match.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.